Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jennie will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. And today I have with me Petri Kiuru, who is, I'm so excited to share him with you because he is the first person with the Zinzino company to be on the Badass Direct Sales Mastery show. So I am so excited to have you here, Petri. And Petri, let me tell you guys about him, and then we'll get into the conversation. Petri is a long-term serial entrepreneur with a background of being a CEO for his family's company in the steel industry. Direct sales was introduced to him almost 7 years ago, and it's become a passion for him. Having a great company and products are naturally the core to being able to build up a successful business. All of that are there now for him, so it's time for him to boost the business, kick down the pedal, and go all in and climb to a whole nother level. Welcome to the show, Petri.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for the invitation. This is absolutely fantastic. I've been, of course, checking a little bit the Badass Mastery, and there's such a good stuff there. So I just love it. Love it. So it's fantastic to be here. Thanks a lot, Jennie.
Oh, absolutely. No, thank you, Petri. So tell us your stories, because your bio says you were working in the steel industry with your family company, and now you're with Zinzino. How do you go from steel to Zinzino?
Yeah, exactly. Good question. I've been always, I've been doing sports a lot. So playing soccer for a long time. And of course, because of the sports, I've been also quite, really thinking about what I eat and how do I feel, and trying to avoid all kind of injuries and so on. So that was a thing which in a way it was a path to direct sales. I never did it earlier. Never. I was taking to presentations many times, but it was crazy stuff what they were selling. So nothing on my interest. But I was very interested in how this business is done and how it will be done. And so what can I learn from it? And that was my great interest. And of course, when my good friend called me and said, hey, I started a new business, could be interesting for you. I said, yeah, absolutely. I want to hear about it, because whatever is the business, I always want to hear if it's something new. So that's why I'm serial entrepreneur. So in several companies, so people are calling me all the time. Hey, I have a new business. But then, we had a cup of coffee, and Zinzino was introduced to me, and I noticed that, this is first time ever I heard that there's a test that you can test these nutritions. That really, it was something in a way I was searching for, because it's not the question that I ask from Jennie that, hey, how do you feel about using the product? No, I pinch your finger, I take a couple of drops of blood, I put it in a laboratory, then I tell you how you feel. So that was it was the big thing. And of course, naturally, we can help people for a better life. So it's in principle better sleep. So that's the base of everything. So
I love that. So, for those who haven't heard of Zinzino, because I've been aware of Zinzino for, I think, about 4 years now. There's someone here locally to me in BNI now who is with Zinzino, and I met her 4 years ago, and she was the first person I ever heard with it. So, but tell me about the company, because there's people here who've never heard of Zinzino. So tell us a little bit about the company.
Absolutely. We landed in the US already, I think, 7 years ago, just before I started, maybe even 8 years ago.
Okay.
But of course, I mean, when people in Finland, in Europe, we are talking about USA. So people don't understand that USA, it's a huge nation with 50 countries in. So, and of course, on direct sales, it's the most competitive market. So it's not easy to bring out the new company from Scandinavia on a new market. So it's still, I meet people every day here in Finland, and they have never heard about Zinzino. And it's coming from Sweden, so it's not far away. And we've been already 12 years in Finland, and still people have never heard about it. Of course, we know that direct sales, it's not marketed in the TV or in newspapers or nowhere in the media. Their marketing is done by us. So that's making it different. But yes, we've been in the US quite a long time already. And yes, we are from Scandinavia, headquartered in Sweden. Our own factory is in Norway. So everything is in our own hands. And now company is 17 years old and it's running perfect. So we are on a top 50 list already, climbing up every year. So the aim is to be the biggest on the market. So nothing else.
Absolutely. And so you already talked about how it's a test-based company, a test-based product. Yes. So what are they testing?
Yeah, actually, nowadays we have 3 different tests. So the most common is the fat acid test. So we are testing your omega-6 and omega-3 fat acids, because then we get analyzed from your whole body and we really take a sneak peek inside you and we understand many things much better. So that's the main thing what we do, and we have already done about more than 800,000 of those tests. So we are globally the biggest testing company on that area. Then we also started to do vitamin D tests. I mean, everybody knows that you need vitamin D. Yeah. But then I ask people, hey, have you tested? No. Okay, you should test it twice a year. So in the springtime and then in the autumn. Then you see what happened in the summer. And most people, they stop, for example, taking vitamin D in summer, which is not good. You should take it all the time. Then the latest test, which came out this summer in July, is a long sugar test, because I'm sure you know that diabetes it's a huge problem, and it's getting bigger and bigger problem everywhere. In Finland, we have a small population, 5.5 million, so it's a big city in the US. But we have 200,000 people who has diabetes too, and they don't know it. 200,000, it's a huge amount of people. They don't know that they have diabetes too. And we are testing it now.
Oh, wow.
The testing method is the most accurate. So you take just a couple of drops of blood from your finger and it goes to laboratory who's analyzing it. It's very simple. You can do it at home. That's the thing. You don't have to go to laboratory because they don't go there. You can do it at home.
That's amazing. No, and so now I'm curious. So you love the fact that it's test-based nutrition. What drew you into direct sales? Why choose direct sales as, coming from being the CEO of a steel company?
Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, we sold the company already 13 years ago. I was still CEO on the company for 3 years. Then they started to do all kind of things there, and I decided that, okay, I have seen this. I mean, I've been 20 years in the business, and I know everybody everywhere, and it's more or less same. And I couldn't get the idea of what could be done differently. Every other business was chasing, but that was very traditional business, buying goods from Far East, mainly from China, put it in your stock, selling to customers. But how can you change it? Still today, I haven't figured it out what could be done differently to do it different way. It's very difficult. Very difficult. And I got enough. So then I went to be a shareholder in several different startups. Everybody who's been in a startup scheme, they know that, it's not easy. If you go in 10 companies, one might be the one which is bringing back the money, and point out it might be.
Right.
It's not sure that the money is coming back. It might be the 15th company. Yeah, okay, I've been quite lucky. We made a couple of good exits. So I got the money back. But still, it's very risky business.
Yeah.
Then, Zinzino was introduced to me, and I started thinking, okay, the only risk is that I take the starting kit where I got the products, the tests I can use by myself, and start doing the business without any risk. I don't have the stock for $1 million. So no, I'm not stocking any goods. I'm making customers, and then, okay, if you want, you start building up your sales team. I have now people in roughly about 20 countries, from Taiwan to Canada. So
wow.
everything between there. So
all right. So let's go in that direction, because I know there are a lot of people who are listening right now who are in direct sales, and they are struggling to build a team in their own area. How do you go from building a team in your own area to being so you have a team spread around 20 countries? Is that right? Do I understand?
I have in different European countries, South Africa, Taiwan, Malaysia, Hong Kong, India, a lot of people.
Wow.
And then not every country in Europe, but quite many countries in Europe.
That's amazing. How did you start recruiting? How did you sponsor people in other countries?
Naturally, I've been traveling a lot. I have visited more than 50 countries globally, all around in Asia and of course in Europe and US also several times. So I always like to do business with people outside Finland. I had a company in Spain for 7 years. Right. So for telecommunication, and same way I had in France, in Toulouse, also a company for a couple of years. And I really like to work with outside Finland. Also for taxation, it's interesting because when I have team everywhere, my trips are always company trips. So when I'm traveling, it's always business trip.
I love it,
so
right?
It's
because
deductible.
you're exactly. So when you're traveling, how are you finding these people that are becoming your team members and hopping on board with Zinzino? What?
Yeah.
Are you going with? Let's start with this. Are you going with the intention of finding somebody, or do you already have somebody there and you're going to start them?
Yeah,
both?
I always have people all around and connecting a lot. LinkedIn is a good way to do it, of course. And now, 2020, everybody moved over to Zoom and online. So it's so easy to get people online nowadays. Earlier, when you said, hey, let's take a Zoom. What? No, what? Zoom? What? No, what is that? No, I have never heard about it. How can no, I can't use it. But it changed. 2020, it started to change. It's like BNI. BNI moved over to online, fully online. Of course, they were forced to do it.
Yeah.
But this situation also forced people to move over to online, which was, I'm always saying there's always positive things in every single thing. In whatever happens, there's also always positive things. And I would say that this damn big C made it possible to go online. And I just love it. So it's the good way to make connections. There's a lot of all kind of groups which have online every week. I've been now being in quite many onlines in Australia because I don't have yet any team there, but I want to have some team there because my big hairy call is 24/7, 365 business. And it means that I can't only work in Finland. I can't only work in Europe. I have to take other timelines. So I need people from Australia. I need people from the US because when I start sleeping, then you guys wake up and running there on a business. And when I wake up, India, they already woke up. And in Hong Kong, they are doing business. So that's my hairy call, what I want to do. But I use also LinkedIn a lot. LinkedIn is a good way to make connections. It's perfect way, and it has changed a lot in last 3 years on a positive way. Earlier, it was very traditional, old-fashioned, and it didn't work at all. It was like a telephone memory. You just check the code. Where is Jennie working? That was it, nothing else. So, but nowadays it's very vital and it's working well. So
absolutely. So
you're using
Yeah. So it sounds like you're using LinkedIn to connect with people worldwide.
Yeah,
and then
a lot. Yeah,
through those
yeah.
connections, through those conversations, you are bringing people onto your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yes.
so now you're getting paid 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And of course, one good way is, of course, it's BNI. So
yeah.
I have visited, I don't know, maybe 70 meetings all around the globe.
Wow.
Okay, sometimes it's not so nice to wake up 3 a.m. to go to the meeting in Hong Kong. So it's a little bit challenging. So because I don't want to drink coffee during the night.
Yeah.
So make your pitch 3:30 a.m. in the morning. I think I'm not on my best at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I have done it several times. So, and also in India. So because for Finland, they are in winter 3.5 hours ahead. If it's 7:30 meeting, it's 4 a.m. So it's also a little bit early for me, but
Cool.
it's doable, and I have such a lot of connections in India, and they are very active there. So
that's awesome. And my audience is not going to be surprised to know that we met through BNI. I talk about BNI all the time because let's face the facts, right? When you're in direct sales, when you're in network marketing, 50% of your job is to network. To build and grow your network. Well, how are you going to do it? So, you choose BNI to do that. There are a lot of different ways to grow your network. BNI is not the only way. It just happens to be our favorite way.
Yeah.
And so I think that's an amazing way to build and grow a network that is worldwide, global. If you want to become somebody who wants to get paid 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I mean, who doesn't want to get paid 24/7, 365? I love that goal.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
And are you working with your team to go after the same goal, to get paid 24/7, 365?
Yes, of course. There are some of the people very anxious about it, but there's also people who want to build up the business only in Finland, and it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
It's everybody's. It's not my decision, so it's their decision, and I respect that. So it's
That's
absolutely.
fabulous.
Some people want to do only customers. It's absolutely fine. You can make good money only with customers. So
absolutely. No, I would definitely agree with that. I think the nice thing is that you guys do have this wonderful, scientific base, the test base, in order for people to see what's going on so they know the product's working. It's not just based on how they think it's working or they feel like it's working. They can see numbers. They can see how things are improving. So I think that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yes. It's from guess-based to test-based. So that's a difference.
I like that, from guess-based to test-based. That's awesome. And so, Petri, one of the things that you and I talked about is that for people who have never heard of Zinzino, for people who this is the first time they're ever hearing about it and they would like a little more information, you have a really nice offer for people. So for the first 3 people who reach out to you, what are they going to get when they connect with you?
Absolutely. I'm going to give them free balance test, which is the fat acid test. So I will ship it over to these people, and they do it at home. They send it to laboratory, and then they get the analyze from laboratory. And naturally, it's very informational. It's visual and informational, but I would like to go through with them that they get really understanding what's in there. So it's about their health and preventing all kind of negative things. So
I would agree with that. Guys, if you have not heard of Zinzino and you've never been through this test, I've done it. I've had the test. I had a talk to my Zinzino rep all about what the numbers mean. What do the pictures mean? Petri is right. It is a visual results test. So they give you pictures. So it's not just, this big, scary scientific number thing. They give you some nice visuals so you can begin to understand what these numbers mean for you. And so
very vital information in it. So So everybody should know this info. Even though, okay, some people do some adjustments, but some people do nothing. But it's,
right.
This is US is still a free country, so.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really important to know this information about yourself. And so if somebody wants to reach out to you, Petri, how would you like them to connect with you in order to ask if you still have a balance test available?
Yeah, absolutely. I think LinkedIn is the best way to connect. And please, when you connect, put a message to me. So that's what I do always when I send a connect request to somebody. I always put a message. Where did I heard about you, or did I check your posting or something else? So where did I heard about you? So please put a message there, and yeah,
absolutely. So if you guys are wondering, so as the members of the Badass crew, if you're like, I want to connect with Petri, I want to know more about this balance test. So what you're going to do is we have Petri's link to LinkedIn in the show notes. So as long as you are not driving, pick up your phone, click on today's episode, scroll up, and you will see Petri's LinkedIn link right there. So you can connect with Petri, send him a message and say, hey, Petri, I just heard you on the Badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast. Do you still have a balance test available? And he will connect with you and you guys can have that conversation. Now, just so you guys know, this is a huge value. Each one of these balance tests is worth over $100 US. So he is gifting a huge gift to you guys. So the first 3, make sure you reach out and have a conversation with Petri. He'll get it shipped to you. And then you can talk about your results with Petri and see what that means. Petri, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I have a new goal. I have a new goal for myself. Get paid 24/7, 365. I'm going to figure out a way to do that for myself. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Jenny, for this invitation. And it was a pleasure again to have a chat with you. And hey, I have to say this live that I love your voice.
Oh, thank you. I so appreciate that. That's really funny you say that because I've actually started doing voiceover work now.
Okay.
I know,
fantastic.
Right? So people are going to start hearing my voice in all kinds of places and you're going to go,
okay,
boy, that sounds like Jenny. You might be right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Petri, for being here. Thank you, Badass crew, for listening. And stay tuned because you know how this goes. There's another Badass episode on its way. Hey, Badass crew. Jenny B here. I want to start by thanking Gina, Matt, Jessica, and Renee for finding me on social media and connecting with me. If you've been listening to the show for a while, find me on your favorite social media platform. Friend request me and send me a message letting me know that you're a member of the Badass crew. I want to meet you. Trust me, I will fangirl on you so hard because I love you. So go find all of my pertinent social media links right in the show notes.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.